Have you also heard that Medellin already is full of foreigners and it's not local anymore? The answer to this question will be in this video. So recently there was a flyer in Medellin, in El Poblado, which is, let's say, the most touristic neighborhood in Medellin, which said more or less, we have too many foreigners here that are not interested in the culture. Please go out, we don't want you here. And that kind of got me thinking about another thing that a lot of people say, like, yeah, Medellin is not local anymore, there are too many tourists and foreigners flocking in. You have to go to some other place to kind of find the real Latin America. So what, is that really true? So my goal with these videos is usually to get that kind of the misconceptions you see into perspective. So let's check the numbers. So in Medellin, which holds around 4 million people, so 4 million locals, so not Medellin but the whole Aburra Valley, around 0.5 million, so half a million tourists visit Medellin every year. And of those half a million, around 200,000 people are what you could call a gringo, so a foreigner from the US, Western Europe, Australia, Canada, so all these places. In New York City, for example, it's not half a million, it's 65 million tourists every year. In Hawaii, 9 million. And to go into Latin America, around 3 million in Panama, which also has kind of the same inhabitants like Medellin. Around 4 million people live in Panama. Then around 3 million tourists visiting Costa Rica every year, with around 5 million people. So more or less the same as in Medellin. So there are way more people visiting Panama and Costa Rica, for example, than Medellin. So just more or less the numbers show it's not really too big of an issue here with too many tourists in Medellin. But still, many people ask me, and I see this in conversations all the time, but Sam, how was it? Last time I was here, I've seen kind of 1 out of 2 people were tourists, so how can that be? And I was like, yeah, you stayed in the tourist areas. So let's switch to Sam in the office. So back here at the office, I'm going to show you where the tourist spots are in Medellin. So this is the whole of Medellin, and the parts are colored here. These are the parts you will find gringos, and other than that, I can pretty much promise you, you won't find too many gringos around. So of course, the first one is the Parquelleras with La Provenza and Manila, which, this is the tourist hotspot here in Colombia. Then the next one is, of course, the Pueblito Paisa, which is basically just a tourist attraction. Then the other area is between the 2 parks in Laureles, and a small little park here in Estadio. And then here in El Centro, which is more of kind of, again, a tourist attraction. That's why most foreigners go there. It's basically just tourism also. And if you stay away of these places, the rest of Medellin is for you to discover, and it's totally local. So as a summary, I would state the argument even the other way around. In Colombia or here in Medellin, it's a little bit hard to find foreigners. Of course, you have many tourists coming in, but if you want to find foreigners to stay here more or less long term, you're better off going to Panama. What happens is in Medellin you have a lot of digital nomads that stay maybe 4 or 5 months, and they have a lot of tourists. So people usually complain more about finding long-term friends here in Medellin is harder. And then the other thing is, if you don't like foreigners at all and you want to stay away from foreigners, it's easy. Just don't go into the foreigner places, which is around 95% of the city. So that's pretty much it, what you have to know if Medellin is full with tourists already, or if you can come here and still experience the traditional Latin America lifestyle. So don't forget, if you want to find out more about how life could be in Medellin and you plan your next trip, we offer a special tour here in Medellin, which is for expats or for soon-to-be expats, where we tell you everything you need to know about health insurance, healthcare, visa, all of these things while showing you the city. So make sure to check out more details. They are in the description down below.